A very good afternoon, class. So, as you all know, we have started with our secretarial practice, chapter 10, dividend and interest, and we have covered quite a lot of topics. The last topic that we finished was unpaid and unclaimed dividend. All right. So, you can just refer to the videos. Topic for today is related to what are the different modes of payment of dividend which is undertaken by the company. So this we have already learned in our previous chapters related to correspondence, if you remember. There are three modes of payment of dividend through which the company distributes the dividend to its shareholders. Number one, dividend warrant or check. B, dividend mandate. And C, electronic mode. We'll be covering all these three one by one. So pay attention, class. The very first mode of payment of dividend, that is dividend warrant. So a dividend warrant is nothing but a check which is sent by a company to the shareholder for payment of dividend to the registered address of the shareholder. So it's a normal check which is issued by the company and it is given to the shareholder on his, delivered to the shareholder on his registered address. Dividend warrants at par means check of dividend where payee gets exact amount stated in the check without any charge payable even if it is issued out of state. So at par, basically this word at par means equal. So dividend warrant at par means whatever amount is written in the check, the payee or the receiver will get the full amount without any charge payable even if it is issued out of state. Matlab, if the company is in Maharashtra and is sending the check to the payee who is in Tamil Nadu, then also there will be no charges which will be deducted in case of dividend warrants at par, means equal. The second type of mode which is used by the company is called as dividend mandate. A shareholder may wish to get dividend credited directly in the bank account. Shareholder is required to send a request to the company in the prescribed form which is called as dividend mandate. Dividend mandate authorizes the company to pay the dividend directly to shareholders, bankers. So a dividend mandate is nothing but a form. It is a form which the shareholder has to fill if he wishes that the company should directly credit the dividend amount in his bank. There's no need for him to wait for the check. चेक मिलेगा फिर वो बैंक में डालेगा फिर अमाउंट क्रेडिट होगा. So if the shareholder wishes that he requires the dividend to get directly credited into the bank, तो इसके लिए company will be required to get the authorization to do the same. So for that, the shareholder has to fill a form that is called as dividend mandate and submit it to the company, which will authorize the company to pay the dividend directly in the shareholder's bank. That is dividend mandate. So understood, it is a prescribed form which the person has to fill. The shareholder has to fill. Now, what is the benefit of dividend mandate? It will save your efforts, time and cost. Correct? Amount directly credit ho jayega na? It saves time of the company in preparing and sending the checks to the shareholders and simultaneously the efforts and time of the shareholders to deposit the same. जैसे मैंने आपको समझाया, there is no need to wait कि check आएगा, then you will go to the bank and then deposit, है ना? And await its credit into the account. It also reduces the chances of loss of physical check in transit. Now, check in physical form, there are chances lost ho jaye, phat jaye, misplaced ho jaye. So all these are the benefits if the shareholder fills the dividend mandate. So dividend warrant is less reliable. Dividend mandate is a very good option. Okay. So I hope you all followed the difference between warrant and mandate. Okay. Coming to the third mode of payment, electronic mode. This we have already studied. There are two types, electronic clearing service and NEFT, that is National Electronic Fund Transfer. The company can use the electronic mode to pay the dividends to its shareholders. A listed company has mandatorily use RBI approved electronic mode of payment, such as ECS, that is Electronic Clearing Services, or NEFT, National Electronic Fund Transfer. Make arrangements with the bank and in collaboration with other banks if required to pay the dividend warrants at par. So basically, a listed company, those whose shares are listed on the stock exchange, those who have done IPO, all those company उनको compulsorily have to follow इन दो में से कोई भी एक mode of payment which is approved by RBI. Also, such companies have to make arrangement with the bank or other banks wherein the company can issue the dividend warrants at par so that the shareholders will get the exact amount which is stated in the check. और कुछ काटा पीटी या डिडक्शन या अदर बैंक चार्जेस उसमें से डिडक्ट ना हो पाए. So all the three are very easy. Some important information bit of ECS and NEFT. Both are electronic transfer fund modes, but there's a slight difference between the two. Electronic clearing service is mainly used for debit and credit for low value transaction, which are frequent and repetitive. So the amount which are transferred in ECS are of low value, ज़्यादा बड़े नहीं होते, and these are of repeated nature, repetitive होते हैं, frequently होते हैं, मतलब आज किया तो 15 दिन बाद, then again एक महीने बाद, so it is very frequently done in case of ECS. While NEFT is used for high value transaction, that is why it is National Electronic Fund Transfer. So basically amount in lakhs, crores, such big amounts के लिए the banks use NEFT, and for lower value, frequent transaction, repetitive transaction, it uses ECS. So आया फर्क समझ में, what is the difference between ECS and NEFT? So with this class, the modes of payment of dividend topic is over. It was quite a short topic and comparatively easy one. Now moving on to a very important topic, interim dividend. This was the word which appeared in the start of the lesson, correct? When I was explaining all the meaning of dividend and all. So interim dividend, let's see what it is. Interim dividend is nothing but the dividend which is declared by the board of directors between two annual general meetings. So this dividend is basically declared in the middle of two annual general meetings. Now, if you all paid attention class last year in your portion, there was all the topic related to what is annual general meeting, what is extraordinary general meeting, everything was discussed in brief. So in your previous section, you studied that a company has to conduct 2 AGMs in a period of 15 months. Usually साल 12 महीनों का होता है, but a company has to conduct 2 AGMs. That is between a period of 15 months. तो ये जो 15 months का period होता है जहाँ पे 2 AGMs होंगी, in that particular period, the dividend is declared by the board of directors. तो अभी ये दो meetings के बीच में हो गया. तो can I say this dividend is paid in the middle of the accounting year? That is before the finalization of the annual accounts for the year. तो आपकी फाइनल अकाउंट की किताब बंद होने से पहले, क्लोज होने से पहले, this particular dividend is declared. So that is why this particular dividend is called to be paid in the middle of the accounting year. That is before the finalization of the annual accounts of the year. मतलब मान लो आपका साल शुरू हुआ 1st April. So before you close your books, that is before 31st March of the next year, the interim dividend can be declared. Auditor's opinion should be taken before declaring the interim dividend. So before it is done, before the finalization of the annual accounts, so once you must show the accounts to the auditor and take his opinion also, whether we should declare it or not. So clear interim dividend declared between 2 AGMs, that is, it is declared in the middle of the accounting year before the finalization of the annual accounts of the year. So meaning is very simple. Let's have a look at the features of interim dividend. The board of directors has the power to declare the interim dividend. Interim dividend is only a payment on account of the whole dividend for the year. So it's only a small payment on account of whole dividend for the year. The company should provide depreciation for the entire year and not proportionately for a part of the year before declaring interim dividend. So whatever the company is keeping its reserve for depreciation, कि हमने starting में भी देखा था dividend के features में, whenever after keeping all the money for depreciation and other losses and other areas, whatever part of the profit is left, that you can distribute as dividend. So that is what is told over here. The company should provide depreciation for the entire year and not for the half year. कि भाई आधे साल में हमें dividend declare करना है, तो हम depreciation आधे साल के लिए देंगे. No, it should give it for the entire year and not for a part of the year before you are declaring the interim dividend. The interim dividend cannot be paid out of any reserves. कोई reserve fund से you cannot declare the dividend. Be very careful regarding that. The articles of association of the company must authorize the board of directors to declare the interim dividend. So अगर आपके articles of association, that is the second most important document of the company. अच्छा, which is the first one? Do you all remember? Correct. MOA, Memorandum of Association. So the articles of association में लिखा होना चाहिए कि the board of directors have the authority to declare the interim dividend if it is possible for the company. So follow it. The board of directors has the power declare करने का. Then interim is only a payment on account of the whole dividend for the year. Company should provide depreciation for the entire year. Interim cannot be paid out of any reserves. And the articles of association should authorize that the board of directors can declare this particular dividend. Moving forward, the board meeting has to pass a resolution for declaring the interim dividend. The amount to be given as interim dividend must be credited in a separate bank account in a scheduled bank within 5 days of its declaration. So, ये particular amount which will be declared as interim dividend should already be credited by the company in a separate bank account, which we already saw in our previous videos. All the dividend to be declared has to be credited in a separate bank account, which the company opens in a scheduled bank. In case of interim, it has to transfer within 5 days of its declaration. Interim dividend should be paid within 30 days of its declaration like the normal dividend. Unpaid or unclaimed interim dividend should be transferred to the unpaid dividend account within 7 days of the expiry of 30 days of declaration. That is 37 days of its declaration. So this topic we had seen yesterday also class. एक महीने के अंदर if the dividend is not paid or not claimed by the shareholders, then at that particular time, after the expiry of that 1 month, within the next 7 days, the company has to transfer it to unpaid dividend account. Okay. Any amount remaining unpaid or unclaimed in the unpaid dividend account for 7 years will automatically transfer to the Investors Education and Protection Fund. So आया समझ में? That was the topic based on interim dividend. So as class, you all are clear with the topic. So let's move on to one of the most important distinguish between of this particular chapter. That is, what is the difference between interim dividend and final dividend? Let's have a look quickly. So class, I have made a smart code for you so that you can remember this particular answer, and the smart code is very, very easy. I am Swara. You see now, I am Swara. So it's am apostrophe Swara. So where W appears 2 times. The order may not match as given in your textbook, but yes, this will help you remember the head points at least for writing the distinguish between. So let's see what the alphabet stands for. M stands for meaning. S stands for source. W are 2. One is who declares and when declares. Then you have A, authorization. R, rate of dividend. And the last one, accounting aspect. So the points are very easy. We'll repeat it, revise it once again quickly. And Swara. So M stands for meaning, S for source, two W's, who declares, when declares. A stands for authorization, R stands for rate of dividend, and A stands for accounting aspect. So with this, let's look at the distinguish between interim and final. So meaning, interim is declared and paid between two AGMs of an accounting year. Final is declared and paid after the closing of the financial year. So this is before closing, that is after closing. Who declares it? It is decided and declared by the board of directors in the board meeting. It is decided and recommended by the board of directors. It is declared by the shareholders in the AGM. So interim decide भी board करता है और declare भी board of directors करते हैं. Final recommend board of directors करते हैं, decide directors करते हैं, but declared in the general meeting by the shareholders. Authorization. It can be declared only if the articles of association permits the declaration. The declaration does not need any authorization by the articles of association. When it is declared between two AGMs of the company. It is declared at the AGM of the company. Rate of dividend. The rate of interim dividend is lower than the final dividend because it is declared in the middle of the year. Rate of final dividend is always higher than the interim dividend. Source. It is declared out of the profits of the current accounting year. Correct, because it is declared in the middle of the accounting year. So ये साल का current profits में से it will be declared. It is declared from different sources like current year's profit, free reserves, capital profits, money provided by the government, etc. So this we had already covered in a previous videos. Accounting aspect. It is declared before preparation of the final accounts of the company, and it is declared only after the accounts of the final year are prepared and finalized. So class, one of the most easiest distinguish between, you can study it for your exam and very easy to remember. I have tried to make the smart code as easy as possible. So with this class, we stop here for today, and I hope the topic dividend is completely clear to you all, because in the next topic, we'll be starting with interest. So with this video, we come to an end of the topic dividend. So we saw various different kinds of topic related to dividend. I hope you all are going through the video and listening to it and learning from it. So class, if any doubt, please let me know in the comment section. And if you like the video, do subscribe to my channel and pass on the link to all your other friends if you feel it is beneficial. So take care and stay safe, class. I stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening to me.